All right, we are live and up and running. Hello, everyone. This is D20 plus one, and today we are running Fallout 2287 in the Peerless City, the city of Seattle, with three awesome players today. I'm just going to take a sec and let them introduce themselves and talk about their characters a little bit. Starting with, let's go ahead and start with Rob.
Okay. Um, my name is Rob Davis, aka the Swamper. Today I'm playing Mortimer RX Pessel. He is a kind of a scuzzy guy, drug dealer, and a user himself. Comes from the south. He bald on top with long, scraggly hair. Wears a leather jacket, torn jeans, cowboy boots, wire rim glasses, that kind of thing.
Okay, awesome. So he's right. You said he was kind of like a druggie, a little bit.
He's a human. He's a human about 45 or 50. As I said, balding on top, long, scraggly hair, wire rim glasses, and yeah, he's a drug. He's a bit of a drug merchant in the local area. He knows a few. He has a few customers, and he's also a user himself. So.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, let's see. How about Mark? You want to go next?
All right, playing a character named Reginald. I can't read your handwriting.
Oh, sorry. He's using a pre-gen character of mine.
Yeah, the Regin. I'll just call him Reggie.
Yeah, there you
Um,
go. Reginald is a good name.
he is a part of the Manhattan Men faction, and he's a lawful good character. He was once part of a uh, weak law enforcement of the area, but he it was so weak that they couldn't really enforce laws in the area, and he decided to resign from that position uh, to go out on his own and enforce law in his own hands.
All right. So a little bit of a maverick, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right. And how about yourself? Last but not least, Mr. Chris Locke.
Hey there, everyone. I'm Chris Locke, otherwise known as the Goram Nerd. Today I will be playing a character named Ezekiel. He is a gambler. Of usually cards are his vice. Depending on whether or not he has to get himself out of something. Usually his words are his weapon, but he's always got his six-shooter to side in case things get a little too hairy.
Awesome. We got some misfits in our group. I can dig it. I can dig it. And a lot of very interesting names. We've got what Mortimer, Ezekiel, and Reginald. Traditional Seattle names, of course. Uh,
Of course.
so I was actually going to start with a little video that I've got. I'm going to list in the comments right now in the YouTube section. And this video I'm also going to post in the link. And we're going to need about 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes to listen to it. This is basically what's going to be what our characters hear over the radio as they waken to the bright green Seattle morning. So,
Before we jump to that, can you just describe like where we are? What's our immediate surroundings when we hear or see whatever this is?
I think basically what it is if you imagine you're all kind of the three of you are kind of on opposite sides of each other, almost making a triangle formation, and there is your kind of the respective faction that you're representing behind you, kind of like a small group gathering, almost encircling around you as you're looking at each other.
So we're outdoors, like there's a big meeting of three gangs kind of thing or something.
Yes, and at the base of the rubbled ruins, the rubble that's kind of strewn about, and the Space Needle is kind of directly behind you, looming
Okay.
overhead. And this is kind of booming out through megaphones.
Okay. Thanks.
So for those of you that are watching live, the link is in the comments, and if you go ahead and follow along with us, we'll be starting in just a moment. Whenever you guys are ready, go ahead and give it a listen.
Oh, we have to watch ourselves. Probably we have to watch ourselves, or.
Well, I know you've seen it, but
I know I've seen it, but.
it's up to you. It's up to you. All right. Sounds like you guys are done then.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we all kind of started late, didn't we?
What's that?
So I think we all kind of started late, didn't we?
Yeah, I was just I wanted to make sure, so I'll put an annotation in the comments that'll let the people not watching live skip ahead to this moment. That was a audio brought to you by Locrius. Actually, was super awesome. I messaged him. I had this idea in my head, and I had this little script that I wanted him to read from, and he just nailed it. He knocked it right out of the park, and it was fantastic. And I'm really happy that I was able to able to get that from him, and he just did an awesome job. Super awesome, super huge props, hello Chris. Thank you so much.
It was well done.
And so, for those of you that have watched it, that's basically the situation. We've got these three rival factions. They've been at each other's throats for a very long time, and now this new threat is kind of bringing the group back together again, bringing everybody together against a common enemy, the new California Republic, who are out for the state of Washington and, of course, the city of Seattle. So that's essentially what has brought you guys together into this area, into this kind of circle of a very what would normally be a very bloody conflict going on right now. Is just more of a tense silence filling the air as the music kind of fades into the distance, and you see those of you who are not Supermutants, who I believe all of you are not. So an unfamiliar face kind of striding forward, big, wide, bulky looking Supermutant kind of lumbering forward, and he's got what looks like half of a football helmet kind of hanging on the side of his head as he lumbers forward. And you can see kind of scrawled over on the front of the shirt in every third letter spelled backwards, the word Seahawk. And that one's for you, Barker, if you're watching. And he steps forward and he says, "Enemy from outside! Want to take land!" And everyone just kind of nods as he says this. He says, "Factions, work together!" And he intertwines his fingers as he says this, and he punches his fist into his hand. He says, "We make tribute to get weapons to fight these invaders. What say you?" And everyone just kind of cheers. Even the ghouls are cheering, and the humans, and you can even see some older model synths. And he kind of turns to a very thin-looking man in a tattered lab coat, who seems to have a robotic arm of some sort. And he kind of claps him on the shoulder with his huge hand, and the guy almost seems to sort of crumble under the weight a little bit, and then he rights himself up, and he says, "Gentlemen," and he looks around and he says, "Oh, no ladies. Anyway, that's okay. My name is Atom. I represent the Manhattan Men. This is my progeny." And he pushes you forward, Reginald. You can see that this is a synth that existed in the time when synths were a new invention to the world. This is a synth that is not designed to look as humanoid as a synth it does now. It's very obviously been manufactured, and its skin is not the right color at all, and even parts of its metal undercoating are kind of peeking through. And, well, Reginald, he's kind of pushing you forward, and he says, "Well then, don't be shy, say something."
Like what? I'm not much of a talker, as you know.
Bit of an attitude, this one. Don't know why they added it to your program. And he just kind of eyes you up and down and says, No, say something. We're getting together. We're going to make a tribute. Yes, tell them about the tribute. We're sending it up the sound. Oh, never mind. He kind of pushes you out of the way. He says, our three factions are going to contribute each one thing of great value, and we are going to give it. We're going. Chris in the comments. Say something I'm giving up on. Because we're going to give it to the good folks over at the Puget Sound, and they in turn will provide us with the weapons that we will need to win this war. Now, each of us have selected someone who we feel we can trust with this task. And with that, we kind of pan over to Ezekiel. Ezekiel, we're flashing back to the moment that you secured this deal through nefarious means. The moment that you pulled the right strings. What do you imagine Ezekiel did to get himself in such a prominent position at this point?
Well, as usual for me, most of my deals take place over a card table, and there was a very new person there who was blabbing on and on about this great honor he had been given to help his city and to contribute in any way that he could do for the betterment of other people, just spewing the nobility you tend to hear from someone before they get eviscerated by a super mutant. And so he had Rendrive his credits, and he wanted to keep betting, so he put that on the line, and, well, here I am. He got a little testy about it, and got a little aggressive about it, and when they found his body full of holes, they weren't sure what happened.
Yes, exactly. Right before the truce was called. In fact, you had someone dispose of it over in Supermutant territory, so finding the body full of holes was actually immediately just, oh, he must have taken a wrong turn on the wrong alley. No big deal. Happens all the time. In fact, it was Swiss Cheese Alley, as it's affectionately known, because that's exactly what happened. Oh. Hey, we got somebody else.
Hey, sorry for being late.
No biggie. Uh-oh, get a little crackle. We're just in the middle of basically introducing the characters.
Alright.
And Dan, did you happen to have your character information at the ready just to kind of describe yourself?
I do.
Awesome. So we'll go ahead and well, I guess could you just give me the basics, and then I'll find a way to narratively give it to you then.
The ghoul scavenger who also sells what he finds that we worked on.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Sells what he finds. Awesome. Okay, so let's see, Chris, you're actually actually, I'm just going to use your character name, Ezekiel. You are with the Supermutants, actually, which is why you were able to put the body in Supermutant territory, why nobody really wanted to investigate it. Obviously, Reginald is with the synths, which is also the human side of things, over with the Manhattan Men. So, the ghoul scavenger, it only would make sense that you're probably a part of the Hideous Six, the ghoul faction. So, did you have a character name in mind, Daniel?
I do. Bits.
Bits? Oh, that's awesome. I'm immediately thinking of Anchorman with Bits McGee. Oh, Bits. What has prompted you, or what series of events has led to you being put in this position where you represent not only your faction, but you have been tasked with escorting this tribute to the Puget Sound in order to get some more powerful weapons to fight the new California Republic, which is encroaching upon the city of Seattle.
Well, Bits used to have a partner called Pieces. And him and his partner were pretty much known as the best of the best. But then people started wondering which one of those two were the better. And so Bits sort of prematurely let them find out by taking out his partner. And since everyone thinks he's the best, he was sort of more or less pigeonholed into going.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
Hey,
Hey.
I'm sorry. Oh, what about his dog, Kibbles?
Huh?
What about his favorite dog, Kibbles?
Oh, God. Okay, so many puns, so little time.
There's always time for puns.
That's Chris's comment, not mine.
So, Mortimer, what brings you to this gathering? And
It's probably my negotiation skills, at least when it comes to dealing with the criminal element. I don't do nearly as well with upstanding citizens and legal vendors, but with the criminal element, which is something like we're going to have to be dealing with these guys, I have a way of sort of speaking their language and, making deals like that. It's something I may have done before once or twice.
Yes, absolutely. And as you guys are standing there, you can see that there's basically a giant Brahmin-drawn carriage. It's kind of, at one point it was an old military truck, those big troop-carrying trucks with the canvas over the top, but it has since had the engine taken out, and it is now just a set of wheels being pulled by some Brahmin. And you can see that the various members, mostly the Supermutants, just from their sheer brawn, are dumping just piles of stuff into this thing. You see, you see piles of illicit drugs. You see piles of ammunition, small bullets, small arms. You can see there's some protectrons, some robotic companions being loaded on there, kind of looking a little confused and disoriented as they get loaded onto this thing. And it's kind of a process that takes several minutes. You can just see this thing getting almost overloaded with goods, and then they kind of throw the canvas, throw like a tarp over the top of it, where the canvas would go on this troop carrier. And they say the Seahawk, the leader of the Supermutants, kind of steps forward and looks down at you all, and he says, "Make safe trip. Don't let take. This keeps city safe. We must make trade, no matter what. Don't let take." And he kind of looks, kind of tries to stare each of you down, kind of size each of you up, except for Ezekiel, which he's kind of staring everyone down, and he finally gets to you as the last person, and instead of staring you down, he just kind of gives you a knowing nod, like a respectful little nod of the head, and he steps off. And you can see that the people in front of you are kind of pushing those old cars out of the way and clearing the path for you. So who would like to take what position on this little Brahmin-powered caravan of ours? There's a driver's, what would be the driver's seat, the passenger seat, and then there's some spots in the back too, the back side.
Ezekiel will take passenger.
I'll be in the back.
Okay.
I'll take back as well.
I guess Reginald's going to be the driver then.
Yeah. As much as you can. The steering wheel has been pulled out in favor of reins leading through the windshield, which is non-existent. So it's not so much a driving as more of a hold the reins and make sure the thing doesn't sidle to the left too much. But yes, you ultimately can start and stop and control this caravan as best you can. Assuming that these Brahmin are willing to go along with whatever you want them to do, which at the moment they seem pretty eager to get going. And you would know from where you are, and sorry to anyone that lives in Seattle if this is not quite accurate, but I'm going to go ahead and say that the Puget Sound is probably about 10 miles from where you are right now. And it is just now the beginning of the new day, so the sun is just now rising. So, what would you guys like to do? Well, I suppose that's a stupid question. I feel like I'm railroading a little bit.
We best be on our way.
Exactly.
Hint, hint, would you guys like to keep going directly ahead, you say?
Yeah, I just realized how badly that sounded, but oh well. I'm still learning. It's all good.
By the way, Puget Sound is approximately 30 miles from Seattle.
Ah, well there you go then.
In the game, it's going to be 10 miles.
Yep, erosion is not fun. No, we'll go ahead and say it's 30 miles. It really doesn't matter too much. It's just for flavor anyway. It's just more of a how close are you to the end destination kind of thing. Okay.
So you said it's like 6 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Something like that? All right.
Yeah,
So Mortimer is leaning back. He's brushing his hair out of his eyes, which is something he does all the time. And he lights up a cigarette, and he pulls out a small flask, and he's taking sips from it as he takes heavy puffs on the cigarette. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's good enough.
Reginald is going to be kind of tired. He's going to appear tired to you. What's his character's name?
I'm sorry?
Ezekiel. I'm sorry. Ezekiel. Reginald is going to appear tired to you. He's kind of like nodding off a little bit as he's holding the reins. As he was up late last night, working on his latest invention. He's primarily a weapons creator slash tester of sorts. He deals with weapons a lot. And he's just kind of like nodding off. You can kind of see the reins are like, he's kind of, it's tending towards the left a little bit.
So you're starting to drift off, maybe dreaming of fusion rifles and plasma launchers and lightning grenades and things like that. So Ezekiel, what little remains of the rumble strip in the road starts to make some wah, 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 wah noises as the caravan starts to veer off to one side there.
I would look over and grab the reins. Get in the back before you get us killed.
No, I'm fine. I can do this. And he takes it back and kind of like, it's more sturdy than before.
Ezekiel takes out his 6-gun. We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Please. I was up late last night, but I'm fine now.
Hand over the reins and get in the back. And he cocks the hammer back.
You're really going to do this.
And now, you need some sort of stimulant or some sort of a little boost there. I think I might be able to help you out.
That would be perfect.
Well, you got some caps for me. You give me some caps, I'll give you a little boost there. A little something for the effort. I can help you out. Old Mortimer's got your back. What you need?
How many caps are you asking for?
Well, what you need? What you looking for?
I need something to keep myself awake.
All right. So I'm going to reach in a pocket. I'm going to pull out a flask of dirty water, and I'm going to put some brown powder in it, and I'm going to shake it up.
Nice.
And then
I picture it being
offer
like dirt or something.
Yeah, it looks like muddy water. It's coffee.
Ah.
Okay. Sort of. And so maybe five caps for now. I think that should be about fair. Yeah. 5 caps. Just give me a little jump in your jump.
It wouldn't be Seattle without overpriced crappy coffee.
That's a perfect price for coffee. He hands you five caps and takes the dirty water and chugs it.
All right. So the caps are in my pocket, and I'm sitting back puffing on a cigarette, just like that.
I feel the effects already.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. So you drank this entire, you're drinking basically dirty water, which has had some sort of dirt-colored powder added to it to make it appear as though it was coffee. Bits, what?
You probably pick up a few rads from that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Bits, what are you up to back there?
Bits, upon, seeing the cigarette from Mortimer, is gonna walk over. You got a few more of those?
Yeah, man. Morty's got what you need. What you need, man. I can hook you up. I got some cigarettes. In fact, I got a whole bunch of cigarettes. You want some cigarettes?
Right.
I can sell you some cigarettes. You
Sure.
got some caps? I got the cigarettes. Whatever you need.
I got the caps. How many? How much?
How much you want? What do you want?
Just let's see, to get through the trip, maybe just a pack?
15 caps. It's yours. Look at that. Look at that. Still got the seal on it. Look at that. That's a real seal now. You're going to have a hard time finding that in any other market.
Sure. Okay. Let me hand you 15 caps.
Okay. I'll hand over the pack and...
So, Bits, are you going to light a cigarette now?
I am.
Okay, awesome. So you're taking the cigarette to your mouth and you light it. And as soon as you go to take the first puff, the cigarette gets blown up and right in front of your face as this bullet whizzes by you.
No refunds now.
Bitch just sort of looks wherever the bullet came from. He's like, oh hell no.
And you could see a raider standing there with a it looks like a rifle that has had a half a pair of binoculars duct taped on top of it in place with a scope. And he just kind of bolt actions to the next shot. You can see one bleary eye kind of magnified through the lens of this thing. He's kind of in the rubble of some buildings to your left, probably about a good 50 feet. Not quite at ground level, about a story up. And you can see that he's cocking the hammer back, and he's sliding his finger back into the trigger. What would you like to do?
Now, there's 2 people on the seat in front of me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in the back right.
Reginald's going to call out to everyone, go, we got enemy deadhead!
I just want to know who's in front of me.
I'm back there with you, so I guess everyone else is in front of us?
Yeah, Reginald's
in the driver's seat, and Ezekiel's in the passenger seat.
Okay, so I'm behind Ezekiel. So I'm going to duck down behind that seat and Ezekiel.
Okay. Yeah, and the shot kind of, I think, well, I'm not sure if you would specifically know where it was, because you didn't immediately snap to it as quickly as Bits did, I don't think. But you said you wanted to duck down, Mortimer? What about you, Bits?
Oh, Bits is gonna pull out his handy dandy shotgun and start walking out, or rushing out rather.
Okay. So you see him put his finger on the trigger, and you see him pull the trigger to see the flash of the gun, hear the shot go off, and you said you're just kind of walking forward.
Yes.
Okay. So the shot goes ping and just grazes off of the bottom of the ground about 5 feet in front of you, and you hear shit, and you see this guy kind of fumbling with his gun. And I think with that, I'm gonna go ahead and roll initiative. So this is your agility is added to your roll. Just your if that's I think that'll be the easiest way to do it.
Agility bonus or agility?
Agility bonus. So kind of like with Dex, it's just half your Dex, or not half your Dex, but your Dex modifier rather than your score.
So the modifier is like
Right,
half.
but what is the modifiers? Because in D&D terms, at 10, you'd be 0.
Yeah,
So-
it's half. It's just half. So if you have like a 10,
Okay.
it'd be +5.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, looks like I'm probably going first.
Ooh, 12.
20, 23.
Okay, and this guy.
24.
Okay, so who got the 23? Rob?
Me, yeah.
Okay, so that's Mortimer. What about you, Mark?
I typed in the chat. Reginald only got a 16 on initiative.
Okay, so that's that. And what about you, Bits?
Big old 12.
Okay. Yep, you spent your first action. You're smoldering and sauntering, so you need more time before you can take your action. That makes sense. So it looks like Ezekiel. Is that correct? Ezekiel, you're first.
Okay, I should probably do some kind of perception check to see what the hell's, like, all I've seen is the shot so far, so I'm not exactly sure what's happening, so
Okay.
you want me to roll perception then?
Yeah, that's fine.
And that's based off of intelligence, correct?
It's based off of perception, which is your second skill.
Oh,
level
right.
3. No problem. It is different. It's similar, but it's different.
Alright, 18 on perception.
Yeah, no problem. You can see that guy smack right there. He's sticking out like a sore thumb. Kind of in the rubble, shooting. It looks like he's shooting through the remains of a window. And there's a bit of a wall in the way. But on either side of him, there is no wall. It's just kind of the wall holding up the shape of where a window used to be, essentially.
Okay, so, where we are on the road and between that and him, is there any cover that I can get to within a move action?
Yeah, there's some pretty big bits of wall that have kind of fallen off of this building that you can get behind.
Okay, I'll use my move action to get to that cover then.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Alrighty. Mortimer.
Okay, so I'm just going to try. I don't even have to know exactly where the guy is. I just want to know approximately where the guy is.
Okay.
And once I determine that, I'm ducking back behind the seat, assuming it's between me and him. And that's it. And all you see is from behind the seat, like you see a little puff of smoke come up from a cigarette.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, no problem.
I'm not your fighter.
Yeah, you've got no problem determining, especially if it's just a left side, right side type of thing. You can definitely
Yeah, so I'm just
tell.
going to, mechanically, I'm just going to try and use the wagon as cover.
No problem. You can do so quite easily. All right then. So I'm sorry. I need to let that guy go. So he is going to try and shoot you.
And you, as in who?
and maybe not miss this time. That looks like it's probably going to hit. What kind of armor did you give yourself, Din?
I got leather armor.
Leather. Okay, so that's definitely gonna hit you. Some not quite a vital wound, but like a kind of like a not a pleasant place to get shot either. Like maybe like maybe the arm or the leg or something like that. So give me 1 second. I need to roll this one.
It's your choice on what appendage.
Yeah, exactly. Whew. For 6 piercing damage. And so that's probably pretty nasty because that's the maximum damage that dice can do. So I imagine that maybe it catches you right in the shoulder blade, and kind of so how do you react to that? Do you?
It catches him right in the shoulder blade, and like you can just and see what's left of the skin basically just fall off, and he drops his shotgun and just like borderline feral ghoul scream.
Nice. So you're kind of letting it clatter to the ground.
Yeah, the shotgun falls.
Okay. And with that, he's like panic trying to reload this thing, and while he's doing that, Bits, it's actually your turn.
All right, Bits just charges him and is going for unarmed attacks.
Okay.
All right.
So you're basically winding your way up, winding your way up the stairway.
So do we add all of agility or just like agility bonus
to your attack?
Mm-hmm.
It's half. It's half for everything.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, that's a 21.
Well, that's easy. He's wearing pretty similar armor to you, so yeah, you've got no problem cutting right through it.
All right, now we gotta get another D4 out.
Nothing like having daggers for him.
Oh, that is 8 damage.
Okay. So there's that. All right. So what does that kind of look like? Are you like gripping him with your claws? Are you swiping? How exactly are you attacking him?
He digs one claw into the shoulder and then just starts like ramming him with like his dagger-like fingers just over and over in like the chest and whatnot.
Okay, so you're hurting him pretty good. He's still looking alive at this moment, but he's definitely not too happy that you've gotten this close to him. His gun kind of clangers to the ground, and in its half-loaded state. He's definitely in kind of a panic. Ezekiel?
Hey.
Wait, did you?
No, I did not.
Oh, there you are. I see you now. Okay, sorry about that. I skipped you because I forgot to do the enemy's turn at first. That's my double mistake.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't sure what he rolled, but I was. When you said Ezekiel, I was like, oh no, my turn skipped somewhere. So I'm trying to figure out something on your character sheet. The attack bonus is +7 on laser pistol.
Yes.
And I'm guessing you're adding proficiency bonus, the agility modifier to that, and
yeah, just like in regular D&D, it's would be like your proficiency bonus plus your agility modifier.
Yeah, it's also that would make it 5, I think, if you get 2 from your proficiency.
Whatever half your luck is.
No, I mean it's 3 though, but I'm getting 7 on here. I'm guessing it's from this +2 int and roll.
It might have just been a mistake on my part, but go ahead and use it like that.
I'm not sure. It said features. That's why I had a question. I didn't know if you had a feature that was like that.
No, not quite, but I probably just worded it weirdly, or I didn't do the math right. But regardless, go ahead and just add the +7 for now.
Sorry. Okay, so Reginald, who, by the way, the caravan is still moving at this point. Like he hasn't reacted to it yet.
Yeah,
So everyone just jumped off while the caravan was going.
yeah, it's going at a pretty leisurely pace though.
Yeah.
So, but it is still in motion.
So the first thing that he does is slow the caravan to a stop, and then he kind of jumps back behind the driver's seat. Now he's next to Robert.
To Mortimer?
Well, yeah, Mortimer. He's next to Mortimer now.
Yeah, Mortimer is currently hiding behind the vehicle, or the interior of the vehicle.
He kind of like tries to aim down his sights on his laser pistol. How far away is this enemy?
Probably at this point about 60 feet.
60 feet?
Yes,
I'm not
since
sure
you're in
how-
motion.
I'm not sure how.
You're fine with the laser pistol.
Okay, fine. I wasn't sure
Yeah.
how far the ranges were on these weapons.
I think it's 100 feet, but for now it's fine.
Alright.
Yeah, it's definitely fine with 60.
Ooh, that's not good. 13 to hit.
13 with your mods.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
man, that must have been a low roll.
Yeah, it was.
So just at the last minute, you kind of hit a bump, and it just jostles it just enough, and it grazes the side of the window where this guy is. It's like just kind of leaves a scorch mark in the side of the window. And the guy would react, but at this point, he's a little preoccupied. Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of an impotent little pew. It just kind of.
There's a little sizzle. You hear sizzle.
Yeah.
Where the scorch mark is.
And and Mortimer, you're probably a little bit slightly deafened by the sound of this thing going off right by your ear.
So I just want to point out, mechanical, since this is an alpha game, your range is going to be two numbers. Like in D&D, you'll have a regular range, and then you'll have an add disadvantage range when it's possible to hit the guy, but not hard. So
Yeah.
if you look at almost every range weapon in D&D it'll be like 60/200 or something like that. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
So the caravan has moved forward now, and he shot at it. So presumably he can see it. He can see the enemy.
Yeah, your position of cover has changed a little bit, but
Right. So if he can see the enemy, then the enemy can see him and possibly me, and I don't want that. So if he's on the left side of the road, I'm getting off the right side of the caravan and vice versa, and moving to a point where I can't see him and he can't see me.
okay. So
I'm going to do this as my move action.
that'll be
Now as my
oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It's just Ezekiel gets a movement, and then I think you get to go after that. But I'll go ahead and
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Finish his turn. I thought he climbed over the seat. That's all.
oh no, that was Reginald.
All kinds of turns are getting skipped right now.
Yeah.
It's okay. Well,
Every turn gets skipped.
Well, my turn isn't going to have any effect on you guys. So I move out of the seat. I get kind of behind the wagon as a move action. As a minor action, I'm going to take another swig from my flask. It's a tense situation. And as a standard action, I'm going to light another cigarette because I burned through that one.
So this is all happening simultaneously, right? But
Yeah, I kind of just clamber down.
so this is all happening
Handshake a little bit.
while you're doing
Cigarette.
what, Ezekiel?
All right, I am taking aim at the guy, and I'm gonna try to fire off a shot with my Colt 45.
All right.
That would be a 29, is what that would be.
Holy crap! There was a lot of mods
Yeah,
on that.
sorry.
I'm gonna assume that hits.
Yeah, just a little.
Nope, it misses.
Is that a crit or is that not a crit?
That's a nat 19.
Okay. Yeah, that's not quite, but damn, that's it.
For 7 piercing damage.
Okay. It was going for the headshot, but at the last minute, because Bits is busy making pieces out of him, he kind of gets jerked to the side, and he gets your bullet goes through his earlobe and gives him a brand new piercing.
It's a new occupation for me.
Yeah, exactly. It's still a pretty impressive dead-on shot through the earlobe, but not quite the headshot that you were going for. And I would like to think that somehow Mortimer lighting another cigarette also adversely affected the shot in some way. I don't know how, but I'd like to think it.
Don't blame me.
Change the wind just slightly.
Yeah, exactly. So, if I recall correctly, I believe that means that we're now back to Reggie. Since I got the turn order wrong last time.
Wait, what?
Because Mortimer just went.
Yeah.
The turn order wasn't wrong. Was wrong the first turn.
Oh, I thought people were being skipped again.
No, it's just now going in the right order, which seems wrong because it was wrong the first time. So there you go.
All right, so let's see. Oh, so it goes before the enemy, I guess.
Yeah, you do. I just did it wrong last time.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting reoriented here.
It's fine.
He's kind of like poking his head out a little bit, going back and forth, kind of like a shootout, I think, the Wild West, and he's poking out again, and aims down the sides.
Gonna go for a pew pew. All right.
24.
No problem.
Is there add any modifiers to this, or is this just a straight up?
It's just a straight roll.
Okay. 9 damage.
Okay. So Ezekiel and Bits. What does it look like when this guy gets killed by this laser blast?
Perhaps something like he's getting shanked by the guy. I catch him in the air, knocking his head over, and as it does, the laser beam hits him as his head is rotating, catching him in the skull and vaporizing his head.
Yeah. And it's not a pretty sight. You've got the smoldering remains of the top half of this guy's head and the desiccated bottom half of his body. And this guy's not going to be shooting anyone again anytime soon. So, what would you guys like to do?
All right, when he comes back to the caravan, I'm going to approach him with the flask out. No, that was nicely done. Now you earned yourself a sip. Take a sip of this now.
Is it more of that murky water?
No, this is some nice wine.
Oh, please, let me. He grabs for it.
And not just one sip now. The first one's free. After that, well, all right, you can start a tab, I guess.
Yeah, he's gulping it down. He's like, oh,
Whoops. Yeah.
And he hands you a empty flask.
It's all right. I'll catch you at the end of the day. You can pay up then, I guess.
Hey, it's a fair trade, a bottle of wine in exchange for an empty wine bottle.
I'll hop back
Vince is
into the thing, the car, the vehicle, and I'll be in the driver's seat this time and quickly reload before I get it back in the holster.
Okay. I think what it was all of one bullet, I think, or maybe two.
That one bullet's gonna be the big difference the next battle. You just watch.
Yeah,
It's true.
it always is. But Bits is gonna loot the body, or what's left of it.
All right. Loot the body. And he has 40 caps on his person. He also has
that makes up for that cigarette.
He also has the rifle that I described with the scope that's kind of taped onto it. The binocular, the half of binocular that's scoped into it. But it is
It's just
essentially
gonna rip off that binocular and pocket the binocular, and then just sort of leave the rifle there, seeing how well it served the other guy.
all right. Well, that's simple enough. Then you have half of a binocular. Uh,
Yeah.
Robert just
A monocular?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I hate to be grammar.
Robert just did deduction though. Did you do anything for addictions in this game?
I haven't set mechanics for it yet.
Maybe just an appropriate saving throw, like
Yeah.
You want me to make this
endurance or whatever saving throw
You just
when
drink the
you
whole
take
bottle.
one.
That is true. So basically,
Well, you drank half a bottle in a flask, technically, but
And the DC gets higher with the more that you drink or
the more that
inject.
you,
well, I would just have like a flat saving throw maybe with an endurance modifier, and because every time you take one, every time you take a drink, you got to make that roll. Every time you take the drug, you got to make that roll.
I like that idea. So maybe,
So you get a bonus based on your endurance,
and
right?
maybe certain drugs are slightly more addictive than others, but the baseline is. Okay. Well, no problem. It takes more than a half a flask of wine to get you addicted to wine.
He is still drunk, by the way.
He's drunk. Yes, absolutely.
He wipes his mouth as he's like finishing off his wine, and he goes, "That was good stuff." And you can kind of see
Yeah, I told you now.
walking back to the back of the caravan. He's like stumbling forward already.
As drunk as a synth can get, anyway.
I look at that proudly, and I say to the others, "See, it works. See, get from old Mortimer."
Now, was that an actual good wine, or was that like a mutt fruit?
No, it's good wine. No, it's good wine.
Okay.
By the way, he'll pull 10 caps at your way. As compensation.
I just grin widely at you. First one's free after that.
3 caps a sip. Oh man, that's stadium prices right there.
Okay.
But aside from that, if you kind of search that little outpost where the guy is, you can kind of see that he's got a little bed set up, and he's got like a cabinet that's kind of full of various junk. I'm not sure how much you guys want to deal with junk, but it's basically just like.
Oh, Bits wants all that junk.
All that junk up in that trunk.
I'm gonna take like a couple of empty pill bottles he's got there, maybe. I can maybe use it at some point in the future.
Reginald will take a hubcap.
Of course. He does have a hubcap, oddly enough. He does. He has a empty pill bottle, but he also has some empty shotgun shells.
No interest.
Okay.
It's probably important to say I'm gonna get my shotgun back.
Yeah. No, I wasn't gonna be like, you forgot to pick it up. Sorry. No, it's all good. I kind of figured you would. It's a little dusty, but otherwise fine. It's used to you dropping it. It's probably a little bit beat up from the.
So, sorry.
Sorry. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, whoever has the shotgun, I'll point out the shells to him.
Thank you. And he starts
Yeah.
taking a few.
If you want to grab them, there's about 5 of them. They seem to have.
That's 5 more.
They seem to have little skulls, like sharpied into the side of them.
Personalized
You hear
shells.
Bits just go, huh, cute.
So let me know when or if you use those. Other than that, there's really very little of import. This guy seems to basically have just been camping out for the day. He didn't even bring much as far as food and water goes.
He brought more junk than he did food.
Yeah. Well, you can assume that some of that was probably already there.
Maybe.
People love to leave stuff in drawers, At least in the Fallout universe.
I thought they just left it wherever.
And you can see if you take the time to look at his shoulder pad, he's got a little red smiley face drawn onto the side of it. And any of you that are familiar with the inner workings of the city would know that this is kind of like a lawless, not big enough to be a faction, but almost like an anarchist group. And they're so there's so much of an anarchist group that they don't really even have a name. They just go by the smiley face symbol. Like they're kind of like Prince. Their name is a symbol. And they're all about just causing chaos. They really don't care about anything else than that.
It's all about brand recognition.
Oh, of course. All right. Oh, and by the way, the whole time this is happening, the caravan is still irking forward at a very slow speed.
Yeah, I've regained control of it, and once I see everyone's back in, I start it moving again.
Okay.
Now that Reginald's no longer in condition to be driving, since he's drunk.
You don't want to get, a drunk. Well, what would that be for
A
horses?
DUI?
Well, you're not really driving under the influence so much as you are reigning under the influence.
He's drinking under.
It's not exactly like there's cops that are going to pull you over to give you a ticket.
He's not driving under.
Well, that's true.
He's drinking under the influence.
Oh.
It's going to be a Mr. Handy model made just for cops.
Exactly. Yeah, as if on
Pull
cue,
over,
one
you
of those,
dirty commie.
one of those hovering. Well, what are those called? The things that play the patriotic music from Fallout 3. One of those
iBots?
enforcer iBots just kind of buzzes by, playing the official City of Seattle theme song, Seattle, the Peerless City, on an infinite loop.
I wouldn't worry about DUIs, and don't bother stopping for the stop signs either.
Yeah. Like the thing looks directly at you drinking, and it just turns the other way. It's like, another normal day. So you guys are continuing forward. The day's kind of gone relatively uneventful, except for that little moment. Do you guys can you guys just give me your perceptions in the chat? Like your perception scores? I just want to see if you would notice this or not.
Since I can't do the chat, I got a perception of 0.
0?
Yeah, all scores starts at 0, don't they?
What's that?
No, the base is 6.
It starts at 5.
Or, I thought it was
5.
Oh!
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, I changed it. It's actually probably something that I did. The PHP is kind of a living, breathing thing, so it's
Yeah, I understand, but give me one moment then.
Okay. So yeah, if it was
Well,
0,
that would have
then...
helped out in the combat.
Oh, well, yeah, you still did all right though.
Yeah, but I was at 2 HP.
Oh.
Yeah. So, that's a perception of 5. My bad. Thank you for clearing that up.
No problem. So it looks like the only one who might notice this is our slightly drunk synth.
Can we have an opportunity to try to perceive?
Well, I was just gonna say that.
I think he's doing it as a passive perception thing, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that Reginald, you would notice before it happened that there's something that's kind of protruding out of the ground that's that you're about to roll over within the next 10 seconds. And in real time, what do you do?
We're about to roll over something?
Yes.
Okay.
In about 6 seconds now.
He's too slow to react to it.
You don't even You got in 6 seconds. You don't even say anything. Oh no, there's something coming. Oh no. Oh dear.
You're not really. I mean, you're not actually drunk or anything, so it's up to you.
1 second to go. Go watch it.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Well, if he says something, I'm going to fall out of the caravan. That's what I will do.
Okay, it's like tuck and roll, basically.
Yeah, more just fall, but a little bit of tuck and roll.
Okay.
Not that good.
How about our driver? What are you up to?
Technically, I would have no idea what's going on, so I probably wouldn't do anything.
Yeah,
Well, he said watch it.
Yeah, he did say so. He did say
I would
so.
try to yank back on the reins, then try to stop him.
Okay. So just at the very last second, then you would do that, and well, do you guys inquire as to what he's talking about?
Yeah, now what the fuck?
What exactly did I see again?
Something kind of sticking out of the ground that you're about to run over,
Oh, it's just
like a
checking out.
mound, basically.
It's like a mound or something.
Yeah,
It's an inverse pothole.
essentially, yes.
It's just basically a mound. Is like there's something sticking out of the ground.
I'm gonna look at it. Yeah, don't look right. I'll give you that. Puff, puff, puff.
Oof. And does anyone have, let's see, explosives or things like that? Maybe search would probably work, or just having a.
I'll search to try and locate it better, but I am not gonna try and disarm it.
Okay. Well, it looks like he.
Hey, does engineering work?
If you're trying to disarm it, yeah, for sure. And search is kind of like. I think it's just called search in 5e actually.
Yeah. Well.
It's basically like
investigation.
looking for a specific thing. And both of you can kind of make out the shape of what is definitely a frag mine.
In 5e, I think it's investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a mine that I saw, and so I guess I can try to disarm it with using my efficiency engineering.
Well, I would at least be able to recognize it as a mine as well. So
Yes,
I'm going to back the fuck up.
Good idea.
Yeah. I got nothing but faith in you, but just in case.
What'd you roll? I can't see it. It's too blurry.
Too blurry.
Hold on. Oh, it's a 20.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I succeeded.
Yep, it's definitely. It's one of those things where you have to like open it up, open the top cover up, and snip the right wire before the thing finishes going and blowing up. You manage to do it before it even makes the first blip. So this frag mine is actually reusable now. It is no longer armed. And with your 20, you're actually aware that there's more in the immediate area in front of you.
And then nicely done now. See, that wine helped steady your hands. Probably saved your life.
It's my drunken stupor. I'm better when I'm drunk.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And
Gotta
if
love
you
that.
haven't noticed, there's more of them out there.
Yes. You can detect or sense that there's probably 3 more.
3 more?
Yeah, and they're kind of scattered on either side. Some of them can be avoided, some of them not so much.
I would really appreciate your help if you wanted to help me search for the rest of them.
Looking, yeah, I can do some looking.
Definitely.
So I'm going to walk off the road, and I'm going to, or the path, or whatever it is that's mined, and I'm going to, keeping a distance of maybe 5 feet from the shoulder on the off the road. I'm going to look, help him search for mines.
Okay.
I think Bits will join as well.
All right. Let's see. So.
Oh, wait a second. Same number. No, I think you're okay. I think you got this.
Here's what I'm gonna say, because I like low numbers. You feel one with your foot.
I wasn't even on the road. Oh, man.
Yeah, there was one on the side of the road.
All right. Well, I'm going to get the fuck away from it then.
It doesn't beep when you step on it. But does that say your immediate reaction?
Yeah, I'm running the fuck away. That is my immediate reaction.
Okay.
Back the way I came. I know there wasn't any.
So,
I think there might be one there.
it's not,
I
so you
got
just
a
kind of like leap back and start running the other direction.
Yeah, like it's not a good running. Like it's not an athletic running. It's sort of like somebody who's out of shape running. Yeah. Sprint for about 40 feet and then start wheezing, slowing down.
So as soon as you let your foot off of it, and you go to run, about half a second later, it explodes.
Is this an agility save?
God damn it! I throw myself to the ground.
Yeah, this would probably be an agility save, I would imagine.
All right. No. +4.
So that is four damage, 4 piercing damage. That's the shrapnel kind of digs into your leg.
Yeah, you can finish searching yourself. I found one.
Reginald tries to call out to him because he. We all heard a click, right?
No, it didn't. It didn't make a noise. It didn't give a warning beep like the other one did.
Never mind. Reginald wouldn't have known that he would have stepped on it. So.
Yeah, he would have wanted to stay in place and have you try to disarm it. Would have been the best bet, I think.
I knew that, but
No,
I
you probably
felt
didn't know that.
No, I personally knew that, but I felt my character didn't know that.
That's
so.
Yeah, that's
So,
no, totally understandable. Definitely. I think my first reaction in that situation would be to get the hell away as well.
Yeah.
So, Bits, you want to try your hand at searching for
Yeah. So that's a 17 on the die, so 19.
Yeah, no problem. You can actually, let's see, there's about 3 left, and you can see where 2 of them are, but you can't quite see where the farthest one is yet.
All right, so I point one out to Reginald, and then walk over to one myself, just taking careful to not get into more than 5 feet away from it.
So we found 2 of them?
Yes.
Are either of them in the way of the caravan?
Both of them seem to be.
Oh man, okay.
They're on the main road.
Alright.
The one you can't quite tell if it's in the way or not. You just have a general sense of where it would be.
Okay, well if they're in the way, then I'll try to disarm it. Ha ha ha!
Well, did you roll a 1 or a 20?
No. Not quite on either of those, but it was almost a polar opposite of the last roll.
Oh, good.
Yeah, let's see. That is...
Hands are overrated anyway.
You guys have fun. I'm going to enjoy the show from the driver's seat.
Yeah, exactly.
I add... Okay, so I'm proficient in engineering, so how much do I add?
I think engineering is based on intelligence.
Meanwhile, Carl, this whole time I'm back in the
That makes
cart
sense.
up.
I add 4 plus 2.
Okay.
So that's alright. That makes it an 8.
So it gets through the first series of beeps. You're trying to disarm it, right?
Yeah.
So it's gotten through the first series of beeps, and you know the next one is going to be the quicker series, followed by detonation. So you've got one more shot.
Oh, I get one more shot?
Yeah, just like in the game, it gives you about 6 to 12 seconds to disarm it.
Sweet. Like, he's stumbling over this drunken stupid like, I did really well getting the last one. I'm confident. And then he's like massive, like he realizes
He cuts the wrong wire and it counts down faster.
he realizes that he cuts the wrong one. Oh shit! I need to man up.
Good shot, kid. Don't get cocky. Oh no.
And 11.
An 11.
Yes.
Okay. So just barely cut the wire in time, and then you see like a puff of smoke come from it.
Uh-huh.
This mine is useless. You cannot reuse it, but it doesn't blow up.
Cool. I'll kick it.
Yeah. Are you gonna kick it and be like, "It's gonna blow"?
No. I'll kick it like, damn.
It just kind of clangs on the ground.
Yeah. It only went 3 feet, by the way.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. I have to check because this might be silly. Nope, it didn't set up another one.
All
That
right.
was so funny.
So with Bits' mine, what's the immediate area look like again?
It's kind of a rubble-strewn road, like on the other side of it. So there's kind of a little bit of a makeshift ditch on either side where there's some water, and then there's the road, and you can see there's little mounds in the road.
All right, so Bits is gonna start backing up, and if there's anyone like around him, he's gonna tell them to back up too. He's gonna reach into his bag where he.
Don't worry, I've been backing up. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, you're probably a good 10 or 15 feet back by now, Chris.
All right, so he reaches into his bag and he pulls out a nail file, which he got from the little drawer, and he just throws it at the mine.
Nice.
19.
So it's the whole thing where it hits it square on, and it doesn't look like it's gonna work right away. But then the nail file, which is painfully standing on end, finally falls. Clink. Boom. And there's a convenient crater-shaped hole where the mine used to be.
Bits is gonna make his way to the wagon.
And there's only the one that remains now.
Cool.
So for those of you keeping track, there is one usable mine and the other 3 are not, as of this moment. Or the other 2.
Did it too, because one of them is still in use.
Yes, one of them is potentially on the board still.
I guess I'll have to search and I can't even search for it. Let's see.
Well, it's pretty hard to miss. It's pretty obvious where it is. It's in it. It's.
All right. Okay. If you're gonna give it to me, because I just rolled really low.
Well, I was just gonna say that this this mound is actually pretty freaking big.
Oh, okay. Because this is an 8 on search.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to miss this. It's kind of.
I would have had to roll a 1, I guess, because that's the only way I could have rolled lower.
Oh wow, you had 7, or you had 6.
Yeah, 4 plus proficiency bonus, I think, because I have such
Well,
high intelligence.
I'm assuming among the 3 of you, you guys would be able to triangulate it with relative ease.
Okay, let's see if I can disarm this.
Well,
An 8.
okay. So this is one of those mines that you get the dirt off of it to see it, and you notice that there is more underneath it.
Oh shit.
not more minds. There's more something. There's something attached to it that immediately scares you shitless. It looks like a metal tail fin to something that's pointing down into the ground.
I was more scared of there being more mines underneath mine.
No, you wouldn't be if you were able to, like, maybe for a second you're like, oh good, it's not more mines. Wait a minute. This looks exactly like the bottom part of a Fat Man nuke.
Okay. Is anything happening with this mine thing right now? Is it beeping? Is it trying to go off?
It's got a timer on it that has started counting down
And how much
from
time is on it?
from 20 seconds.
Shit. Can I ask anyone for help? Because I don't know what this is.
Yes, in fact, this requires multiple people to work on it because it has multiple components that need to be stopped.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this thing has basically somebody has to try and bend the bars back that are open that are around the nuclear device, around the bomb, to get to the inside of it, and then somebody has to very dexterously manipulate the wiring, and then somebody else has to basically make a really lucky guess.
So a lot of hands on a small area.
Exactly.
So I wonder what happens if we don't do this.
Well, basically at this exact moment, you've got the choice to either attempt to disarm and obtain this mini nuke, or you basically have to spend the whole time running away from it.
It's a nuke?
Yes, it's a mini nuke.
I choose B.
We can't run away from this. This is a nuke.
No, it's a mini nuke. It's not a full size nuke. It's like from a nuke launcher.
It's still going to be pretty big.
It's one of the little fat boys.
Yeah.
We get a little bit of radiation. It's fine.
That's
Yeah,
essentially.
if you think of it,
I
in
can
follow
take
3
it.
turns. Think of it in follow 3 turns. You can do it. Yeah. As soon as I realize it's a mini nuke, and it's like ticking or whatever, yeah, I'm noping the fuck out of there.
Okay, what about the rest of me?
Wait, where did that thing that hits you at? Did it like hit you in the leg or something before? The shrapnel?
I think it
Me?
was, yeah.
In the back.
In the back?
Yeah, I was running away. It got me in the back.
Yeah, there was no crippling that happened anyway. It was just the
It was 4.
piercing damage.
I was worried.
No, he didn't lose a limb. He doesn't
No.
need to move at half speed.
Alright, okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, you guys basically have a matter of seconds to decide whether or not you want to try and save this thing. And you can see it's going 20, 19, 18, 17, 16.
Okay.
Which side of the road is less debris covered?
Has less debris?
Yeah, like if one was going to take the wagon off the road.
Probably the right side.
Okay, I start taking the wagon off the right side.
So you're just kind of getting further away from it.
Yes, like in a straight direction away from it.
Okay.
Well, I have no choice but to run away, I guess. And Reginald starts running away.
Okay. How about you, Bits?
Bit starts sprinting.
Okay. No problem. It counts down 10, 9, 8. So it starts going a little faster, and it's counting down. And then when it reaches 0, you're all kind of temporarily blinded, even if you're facing away from it.
Just gonna say I've switched to sunglasses.
Even with sunglasses, you're still blinded.
Well, it's that very, very temporary flash of light that just kind of drowns all other light sources out, and then as this thing goes off, and it is more than the force of the blast. It's just a tremendous explosion sound that fills your ears, and you can feel the heat of the radiant energy kind of coming off of it. Even if you do manage to get as far away as you can, and you can see that there's a nice little, a nice molten, smoldering crater in the middle of the road now, and what little glass there was that was left in any of the windows is completely shattered out. And the Brahmin are kind of going a little bit wild for a second, but Ezekiel, you're able to kind of get a handle on them at the last moment before they just go bolting off.
Well, holy fuck.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
If anyone's not feeling too well, feeling a little woozy, I got some Radaway. I can sell you a good price.
Thanks for an exciting morning.
Yeah, and you can definitely, since you're familiar with a radioactive environment, you can definitely feel that ambient radiation level increasing. You know, the interior Geiger counter in your body is kind of clicking a little bit faster now. You can kind of... It's not a huge amount, but it's definitely, you don't want to stand around this place too long if you can help it.
Yeah, I'm going to run a little wide of it, but still sort of past it. You know what I mean? That'll be my path.
Okay, so you're kind of going through kind of like the ditch / waterway area that's there.
Yeah, I just want to do sort of give it a wide berth, but still get to where I want to go. You know, I don't want to get any closer to it than I have to.
Caravan driver, or I guess just as a group, how would you guys like to keep the caravan going? It's probably going to get stuck on this crater a little bit.
How wide of a crater is it?
It's pretty much taking up the width of the road.
Well, what's just off the road? What's the ground like?
Well, you've got the ditch on one side, and then there's some rubble on the other side. So it's possible to move the rubble if you want to do that. It'll definitely expose you to some rad stuff.
I would just circumvent, like, whereabouts I am now, I would just circumvent till I can get back to a safe point of road.
Okay. So that would probably involve you guys taking like an hour of game time to kind of lug the rubble out of the way so that there's just enough room to get the caravan through off the side of the road. So if you want to keep track of it, that would probably be about 50 rads worth of exposure.
I have a little bit more exposure from the murky water.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think it's like 10 rads for murky water.
Yeah, no refunds.
He's got such a healthy glow. Well, as a synth, you get radiation resistance. Same is also true of bits. Bits, you're actually resistant to radiation as well. So you only take half the amount.
Nice. That means I'm at...
about 30-ish.
Yeah, I'm at 30 rads.
Yep. And so you're able to successfully navigate this crater that was so lovingly bestowed upon you. As you do clear it, you get the feeling that you've probably attracted some attention. Because after
the ultimate flare.
Well, yeah, it is pretty hard to miss. You can see as you kind of get your way around it, as maybe 20 or 30 more minutes into your journey, you can see that there's like a blockade of vehicles that have been pushed into the road, and there's about 3 raiders. One's got a baseball bat with spikes sticking out of it. One's got what looks to be an assault rifle, and the other one has got a cheap-looking pistol. And they all kind of look to you as you approach, and one of them yells out and says, "Give us all the goods or you're dead! We saw you coming from a mile away. Stick 'em up and step away."
Now that ain't much of a trade. Well, these fellows just don't know how to negotiate.
And the guy with the bat's kind of like, what? Yeah, that's not worth your life.
I don't yell that out. I just say that to my companions.
Ezekiel would step out of the cart for a minute. Boys, come on now. There's no reason to be all hasty and aggressive. Come on, we're all friends here.
Yeah, what he said. Come on. Just some caps on the side. We don't have to fight each other. We don't have to walk away hurt. Come on.
Ezekiel, you want to give me, what would that be? Just
Charisma.
Charisma, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I would gladly give you that. 1 second. That would be a 23 is what that would be.
Okay. The guy with the bat kind of squints his eyes and he goes, Zeke? Is that you? And he's
In
like,
character, would I know who this is?
it depends on how many of your cons/marks you would remember realistically. If you remember them all, then yes. But if not, it might be one of those things like, hey, I know you, guy.
Oh, yeah, so, hey, how's it going? Good to see you again. Funny stumbling across you in this two parts.
And he says, you're the only fella I ever knew who who won against cards against the big boss. I mean, come on, how the hell did you do that anyway? And you survived and everything. And look at you. Look at all that loot. What are you doing with yourself these days?
Yeah, keep it on the right side of the barrel. Just trying to make sure what's mine is mine and what's someone else's is mine. You know how it is.
Oh. He just kind of does. He's got this grin on his face. Man, you're rolling with the wrong people, man. You need to be with us. We would treat you all right. We treat you better than these squares. And he takes a little puff of Psycho. Anyway, I
would like, out of character, I would like to make a deception check.
Okay.
Basically, what I would like to attempt to do is bullshit him that he owes me a bit of money. So in character would be something to the effect of, hey, so I know you were pretty enjoying yourself the last time we gambled, but you had a pretty sizable debt with me. If you and your buddies there were to come help us on our little journey here, I'd be gladly erase that debt for you.
Okay. Let's do a pose check. So I'll do like insight versus.
That's a 32 is what that is.
Ooh, shit. I forgot that. Yeah.
32. Wow.
I am an expert at deception.
Yep, I'll probably have to tweak that a little bit, but that's for that's what the alpha's for anyway. So he kind of looks at you and he says, well, I really don't remember much from that night. Whew, all that mutt fruit wine and all those beers. Yeah, you're probably right. But hey, we gotta have something to bring to the big boss. You know what I mean? We can't just say that we let you through, or else we're as good as dead, right? You gotta help me out a little bit. You know, you don't need all this stuff, do you?
Ain't really mine to share, partner. I mean, if you're not pleased with the deal, I could always tell your boss what you did with his woman that night.
And he's like, so about that car that we're going to be moving right now.
I knew you guys were reasonable.
And he kind of snaps his fingers, and the two raiders start pushing on the car, the blockade a little bit. Contrary to how it looks, the car itself was actually in neutral and just kind of rolls off to the side of the road pretty easily. He says, well, I'm glad we could come to a mutual arrangement. Uh, with the back scratching and not getting each other killed, and whatever the hell it is you're doing with all this loot.
Always a pleasure to do business with you. You.
And he's like, yeah, you too, buddy. And he just kind of, he's got this look like he's not happy, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know if you're bullshitting him or not, but he's pretty certain that he's not willing to take that bet.
Yeah.
He says, "Hey, listen, I can't guarantee you safe travel, but I can at least get you about 2/3 of the way without much trouble."
Sounds fair to me.
Says, he kind of signals to his guys, and he says, "We'll take up the back of the, we'll take the back seats. That's all right."
Sounds good.
And I promise I won't take more than 2 or 3 handfuls of stuff.
I look over to Bits and just nod towards the guy.
All right. Have it your way. All right, boys. You know the drill. And they kind of climb onto the vehicle. It sort of strains under their weight a little bit. The added weight kind of offsetting the balance. So he's able to get you guys, would we say about 20 of the 30 miles? Whenever you get to a checkpoint, he says a different phrase every time, just some kind of random phrase, like the sky is cloudy on a Tuesday, and then they let him through, and that happens a couple of different times until he gets to the last checkpoint, and he says, well, this is as much as we control. I can't make any promises anymore.
Well, what do you know about what's up ahead here? Got any info?
Well, word on the street says they got a death claw roaming around this place this time of day.
A death claw.
Yeah, they.
Oh, that's just swell news.
Well, there's not a whole lot of reports about it. Just screaming over the radio and silence. So.
Yeah, screaming and death claws, they do seem to go together.
He says, but the good news is it's just a little one, just a little guy. He's only like 5 feet tall.
No, I understand. I'm sure he's not rat friendly. Oh, thanks there.
He says, just keep a lookout for him. I'm sure he's not too happy. They never are. Keep your running shoes on. Well, unless you really want to go after the little bastard. I don't know.
I may be high, but I'm not that high.
And he kind of taps Ezekiel on the shoulder, and he just says, "Yeah, with this guy on your side, you're always in luck, right? Everything's coming up aces. I'm sure I'll be seeing you real soon." Mm-hmm.
Yep, I might actually let you win a hand this time.
Yeah, and maybe I'll be the king of the wasteland too. We can dream. And he just kind of nods and turns away.
All right there, Aces. You're the lucky one to lead the way.
We continue on.
Okay. So you guys are getting a little bit closer now. You can actually almost see the sound at this point. But just as predicted, smack in the middle of the road, just kind of munching on some unfortunate raiders, you can see a smaller deathclaw just kind of perched over its victim like a vulture, and it's kind of tips its head up and some entrails spill out of its mouth, and it just kind of looks at you all and tweaks its head slightly to the side.
I will. I will make sure that everyone in the knows it's there, and then I'm gonna like kind of crouch low behind the seat again, and I'm gonna check my revolver to make sure it's fully loaded.
Okay. Well, just on, pretty hard to fail a check like that, especially when it's right in front of your face. So as long as you don't have some kind of cataracts or something like that, you're able to see that. That's your pretty good to go.
I figure I might need it.
Fitz is going to load his shotgun with those bullets he found earlier.
Okay. The ones that are basically, they're like little makeshift Jolly Roger flags drawn on the side of them.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. And that thing is going to look at you all, look at the Brahmin, and it seems like it's eyeing them rather hungrily, and it's going to start approaching them. Probably about a good 40 or so feet away, but rapidly approaching. Well, what would you guys like to do?
Stop the wagon.
Who's going to control the wagon?
I think it's still Ezekiel.
Yep.
And you're definitely more sobered up than you were now, by the way, Reggie. It's been a little while now. At least a couple hours.
Yeah, and Ethan goes to Mordecai. What is it?
Mortimer?
Mortimer. I wanted to say Mordecai from like the regular show.
Yes, Mordecai and Rigby. That's exactly what this is.
Oh, goodness gracious. I knew that was wrong. He'll turn to Mortimer and go, "You got any more of that good stuff? I'm not drunk enough."
Yeah. What you planning on doing? What you need? I can hook you up. Listen, maybe you want some. I look around. Maybe you want some Sacco.
What?
Some Sacco. Give you a boost. Oh, you'll do a lot of harm to that fella. You get some Sacco going through you. Only 25 caps.
25 caps. That's cheap.
Yeah, I know it's cheap. I'm crazy. See, this is what the drugs do to me. See, I sell things too cheap, I lose money. I don't know what I'm doing.
He's like the guy with
25 caps.
He's like the
I try to stay sober
with the commercial. I'm crazy, Mortimer. I'm slashing prices.
Oh.
By Reginald is now down to 60 caps.
No
Mortimer's
problem.
just getting rich off of us. He'll swoop down that.
Speak for yourself. He ain't getting rich off of me.
He'll take a swig of that stuff that you just gave him.
Well, Psycho is like it's basically comes in an inhaler. At least that's how I imagine it.
Yeah, I pass you an inhaler.
Okay.
So you said the death close about 40 feet away, Carl?
Yes, sir.
Is that close enough to enter VATS?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see how this works. I hold up the revolver, aim, and enter VATS.
Okay. So what we're doing now is he's using an action point, which is something you get a certain amount of action points per day. And there's a list of things that you can do with them with that in the player's handbook. Obviously, that needs some tweaking and testing, so it's awesome that we're able to do that right now. And what are you... Oh, so you're taking a penalty to potentially do more damage? Is that what you're doing?
Yes, and also I'm assuming it gives me a moment to stop and ascertain what to do here.
Yeah, it's basically... it's like in... if you've seen the Fallout 4 footage, like time kind of slows way down for a second as you're in it. So tactically, it gives you a little bit of time to think, too.
Now, is there some version of calling a shot? Because that's part of the core of VATS.
Yes, it's called... I think it's literally called Take Aim. It's one action point, and it is -5 to your roll, and you would do 25% more damage. Let's see.
By the way, guys, I just rolled a 22 on a endurance roll for addiction psychodrug. So.
All right, I'll take aim at one of its eyes.
Okay, no problem.
Am I allowed to use Gambler to influence his roll?
You're saying...
Gambler influence a Death Claw, though.
Well, it's basically what he's... There's a perk called Gambler, where you take the gamble of you crit on a 19, but you miss on a 2. Or you critical fail on a 2 as well as a 1.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So let's see what I roll first, and we'll see if I need to use it to begin with.
Yeah. No problem.
Okay.
And we're also thinking about letting you influence what the number is. Like, if you could bring it down even more, like 18 and 3, 17 and 4.
Yeah, I'm using Gambler because that's a nat 4.
Ooh.
Okay, so rolling again. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's a nat 20 is what that is.
Okay. Well, that's no problem then.
So with the -5, a 20 is still a 20, right?
Yeah, it's... Well, wait. Yeah, it's still a critical hit, even though it subtracts down to a 15.
Because my total before subtracting the 5 is 30, and then it's a natural 20 plus my bonus.
Yeah.
All right, so
It'd be pretty bad if you missed on a nat 20. Even with taking aim. So basically, in game time, like, time slows way down, and we see the bullet leaving the Colt 45 really slowly.
yeah.
No problem. What kind of... let's see. So go ahead and roll your damage then.
Okay, that would be 7 damage plus 25%. So, like, rounding down, I'm assuming?
I think so. Yeah, let's say rounding down for now.
So, 8 damage, and then roll again for a crit?
Yeah, just another damage dice. Just don't add your 25 to it, to that one.
14 total damage to the eye.
Okay. So that's that. Just barely missing the tiny little brain that Death Claws have. But definitely piercing straight through the eye, blowing the eye out, blowing out through the back of the head. This thing is definitely blind in that eye for sure. And you took a pretty good chunk of its head out, too.
Nice.
With that, I think we're going to need initiative rolls. Let's see what this thing's got. Oh, that's not a roll. I rolled it right off the table.
Reginald's definitely not going first. In fact, he's probably lost a turn.
What'd you do, roll a 1?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
13 total.
Okay.
Mortimer 15.
Ezekiel 11.
Okay. Ezekiel 11, verse 27.
Reginald is a 4.
Yep.
So what was that? Daniel, what were you again? Daniel and Rob?
I got a 15.
Okay. And what did you get, Daniel?
13, I believe he said.
Yeah, I think you went AFK for a sec. So I'll just go ahead and put him right there. So that would be, looks like Mortimer going first.
Alright, so I'm going to lean over the bench above the back seat, and with my powerful 10mm pistol,
Oh yeah.
I'm going to take a pop shot at the Death Claw. and miss. Pew! And then I'm going to duck down behind the thing.
Pling! Hey, now no, it didn't know you were there before, but now it does.
Well, I ducked down. I was like, ping, duck. And
Yeah.
I'm going to light a cigarette.
Okay.
It's tense. So
This is very tense. Bits, are you... Oh, we lost... Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We left the group chat. Well, until he comes back...
the death clock killed him that fast.
Oh, man. He had to run away from it. Oh, there he is.
And eat him.
He's back.
Hey, Danny, are you there? Uh-oh. No.
Oh, goodness.
All right. In the meantime, Ezekiel, go ahead and take your turn. Ooh, excuse me.
Okay, I will just go for a regular attack on this guy.
Okie dokie.
Wow, 28.
Nice. Yep, no problem.
I'm going to assume that hits
Yep, even this thing.
for 4 piercing damage.
All right. Of course, it's hard to beat shooting something in the eye. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, it is its turn, and I have a feeling it doesn't like you too much, Ezekiel.
What?
So he's charging right for you forthwith,
Okay.
and he is making 2 attacks.
15 to hit.
Yep, and okay, so he definitely missed his second attack, but it looks like he hit his first one.
Okay.
For 8 slashing damage.
Ooh.
Yeah, this thing is a Deathclaw. Oh no. Dempsey keeps popping in and out.
Yeah, he's definitely having some issues with his internet connection right now.
Oh well. Dang it.
Let's see.
I believe that makes it you, Reginald.
Oh, I don't have my turn skipped for the first turn?
Do I?
Because I rolled a nat 1.
That doesn't mean skip turn. You just go last. There's nothing in the rules that says 1 is a skip turn on initiative.
Yeah, it can be, I guess, in theory, but I don't think that'd be fun. Doesn't need
Going last is bad enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Oh.
All right. What would you like to do?
Okay,
Reginald?
so it's just this death call, right?
Yeah, this little.
Yeah,
little
it's only a death claw.
Just a murderous hulking Deathclaw, that's all.
Can I invoke luck via lady?
Well, basically that triggers anytime you use an action point, or it potentially triggers.
It potentially triggers.
It's passive, in other words.
Yes, it's Luck Be a Lady is this game's equivalent of Mysterious Stranger. Instead of a Mysterious Stranger, it is Lady Luck that appears.
We get 5 action points each day, right?
It depends on your perception, I think, or one of those skills. It should. I should have. I think I think you have 3.
My perception? This is 4.
Well, it'll say there's a spot for action points, and I shaded out the ones that you can't use.
Carl Dynasty said to go on without him.
Okay.
Okay, so
No problem. Sorry, Dynasty.
I guess,
Must be having some technical
I guess
difficulties.
it's like rounded down instead of like it was rounded up and now you're rounding it down or something.
Well,
because it like my
it should be.
perception
It
for-
should have a spot that says action points, and it should have them shaded out the ones that you don't.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to say you said that the action points is equivalent to whatever your perception is, your perception score or your modifier.
I think it's perception. I could be wrong. I'd have to look at the manual real quick, but I think it should be right for that character as 3 action points.
Yeah, it's your perception modifier.
Yeah, my
That's what we're talking about.
I'm trying to say my perception modifier is 4.
Okay.
What's your perception?
like the score is 7, and it says.
Then round down though it's 3.
Yeah, I think it rounds down.
Yeah.
Yeah, those always round down.
Yeah, I was just trying to say, like on the sheet, maybe you rounded up accidentally.
There should be 4 or should be 3 action points.
In other words, the action points is right and the perception is wrong.
No, it always rounds down. So 7 would round down to 3.
I know. I'm saying that on the sheet it says the perception is 4, and I'm saying that's wrong.
Oh, that's probably wrong. Yeah.
And you're saying the same.
I probably did that.
Sounds like the sheet is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's half right because in one point it says 4 and the other one it says 3, but it is 3.
In other words, okay, so.
Like I said, I
how do you use
didn't.
action point?
There's going to be mistakes in it.
How do you use an action point?
Okay.
I'm asking you how do I use it?
There's a list in the player's handbook on page. Let me get you. Page 30? No, 28. Using action points.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Is everything good?
Oh, hey.
Yay.
I can hear you guys now. Alright.
Awesome.
Nice. I don't know what just happened.
You go hang out.
Guess the Deathclaw just punched my Wi-Fi, apparently.
Yeah. We'll just give you a turn after Mark, and then we'll call it back to normal.
Alright. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
No problem.
I can use get inspiration or an ally.
You're talking about It's basically the same thing as it is on bards, if you think of it that way.
Yeah, I'll do that and add a D4 to my attack roll.
Okay, and you don't have to use it right away. You can hold on to it if you want.
I'm
But
just gonna use it. I actually needed it.
okay, no problem.
That brings. Actually, what did I roll?
Huh?
Oh, 7. Jeez, man. 16, 19 to hit,
That's a hit.
and I have a 40% chance. Oh, I rolled a 9 on the Lady Luck.
Okay.
4.
So my idea with this is either Lady Luck, the physical embodiment of Lady Luck, shows up, or something narratively happens to cause damage to the enemy in the environment. So it's up to you in this case what you would like to have happen.
Let's have her appear.
Okay. So what does she look like to you? Because each person has their own idea of what Lady Luck looks like.
She looks like an angel. She's got a white scarf, wings, the halo, and she's kind of like she's really pale. She's blind.
Oh.
And she's got elven-like ears.
Okay.
And she's got a little tail.
Interesting angel. Okay. Oh, I think.
No, that doesn't actually work, Chris, because my voice is going through his headset, so muting me does nothing.
I think you were probably echoing or something.
No, I was trying to fiddle with stuff and I didn't mean to do that. Now I can't fix it.
It's all right. So
Click on his little picture.
what kind of weapon does Lady Luck wield? Does this angelic Lady Luck wield?
I imagine she wields a halberd.
Okay. But it's not just any halberd. It is a put together halberd. It's kind of ramshackled together like Mad Max style. It's not perfect, but it works. It functions for what it does.
Yeah.
And it launches. It shoots these giant industrial-sized nails that are about the size of human fingers. Because why not?
So
So she gets to go. as well as you. So go ahead and do your damage, and she'll attack simultaneously.
All right. Reginald will deal 4 damage.
Okay. And she will do 4 damage as well, for a total of 8 damage. And as soon as she fires her shot, she ascends to the heavens.
Sweet. She kind of like turns into a bunch of little like pixie dust.
Yeah, essentially.
Glitters all over the battlefield now.
And then you'll remember at a later time to thank your local drug dealer for making that happen.
Yeah, it came straight from that psycho drug dude.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. In reality, you probably just fired your weapon twice. But in your mind,
And in fact, Reginald will turn to whoever the nearest person is. Maybe it's Mortimer. Dude, did you see that angel?
Yeah,
Told you not to give
Psycho
him
will do
the
that
drugs.
to you sometimes.
well, I see that cat. Man, that's some good stuff. I'm getting some
Well, of course it's good
some
stuff.
secondhand smoke from it. I can see there's cats and dice. So bits. This is a little out of order, but since you had a technical difficulty, it is your turn.
Alright. So, Bits is going to do his best to run behind the Deathclaw
Okay.
and fire his shotgun off. That's a 1.
Oh no.
So, yeah. What happens?
It jams.
And that's a one with one of those special shells with it.
Yep. Thank you for reminding me.
Don't forget.
You're welcome.
A little bit of fire erupts from the back of where the shell was. Kind of it kind of just flares out of the back of the gun. And you remember immediately why you don't use Raider bullets. Because they seem to suck a lot of the times.
It's just, son of a bitch, not again, and then throws the shotgun at the back of the, Deathclaw.
Just throw it. In fact, when it hits the Deathclaw's back spine, it just that's the last time that's the straw that broke the camel's back. The thing just snaps clean in half.
It's just this, big, disappointed sigh.
Aren't you so glad that you had your turn now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gotta love technical difficulties, but on a scale of shenanigans, that's awesome. All right.
Yeah, now I get to fight a Deathclaw unarmed.
Oh yeah.
And then you will be unarmed once it's done with you.
Your turn has
I believe it's back to Mortimer now.
Alright, so once again I'm going to pop up from behind the bench, and I'm going to fire off my mighty 10mm pistol.
Okay.
And the bullet goes right between its legs and hits a rock and then just kind of angles up.
And it embeds itself into the bottom half of Vince's shotgun.
Alright, so I'm gonna shrug and then duck back behind the seat.
Okay. Vince, back to you, man. You're right behind this thing without a shotgun.
Well, Bits is gonna do a quick little Catholic cross thing as he jumps on the back of the Deathclaw.
Nice. Okay, so I want you to give me a strength. If you've got brawn, then that'd be cool, but if not, just give me a straight strength check. And I'm going to use them. Oh no.
How's a 22 looking?
Whew, just barely. You got a 22, he got a 21.
Oh my god.
So this is like championship bull riding right here. You are just barely hanging on. And this thing is ragdolling you. It's like...
And can I still get an attack?
Well, technically, that it would be an attack, right?
Yeah, you're kind of grappling.
Yeah, okay.
The
Okay,
grapple
just making
attack.
sure. Well,
But I'm going to
Wait a
use a
second.
free action to cheer him on.
Okay.
Oh, you got him now. You got him.
We're providing emotional support.
wait. Can I spend an action point to get another attack?
Yes.
Yes. I'm not sure exactly what you could do, but you can try to sell me on it.
Alright, so as he's got sort of like a piggyback grip on it, he's gonna get one of his thumbs and just jab it in the eye of the Deathclaw. Preferably, if he could get it, the one that was already shot.
Oh, okay. Sure,
Alright.
going for the salt in the wounds. Got it. And you've
Yep.
got a Deathclaw hand, so... Or not a Deathclaw, a ghoul hand, so...
Yeah.
Nice, I like that. Okay.
Alright, 16?
Okay.
That a hit?
It does hit. However, it doesn't quite go into the vacant eye hole. I don't think. I think it's more of a. You went for that, but you're kind of like piercing into the cheek area.
Whatever hits, man. Whatever hits.
Tough hide on the Deathclaw.
7 damage.
Nice.
And that's gonna be my turn.
No problem.
This thing is crying out in pain, staggering around. This guy's on his back.
He's on his back, and then he tried to stick his clawed hand into his eye hole.
I've heard of having a monkey on your
Shadow the
back.
Colossus
Seriously.
shit right here.
Let's see. I believe that's Ezekiel.
Okay. I've decided this thing needs a matching set, so I'm gonna go into VATS one more time,
Okay.
and I'm gonna aim for the other eye.
No problem.
And let's see what happens. So you said 5 penalty?
Yes.
20 total.
Okay. Nice.
Here's a question. Can I use Gambler before or after I know the result of my attack?
D&D tends to let you use most things after, but there's a few things that are before, like
Well,
inspiration.
yeah, that's why I'm deciding.
I think
Carl,
with
in this
gambler,
version,
it would have to be before, because otherwise you wouldn't really be gambling, if that makes sense.
That's
Yeah,
right, yeah. You'd be betting on a sure thing. Because you'd never bet and lose then, would you? If you didn't have the attack.
Unless you re-rolled, but that would be your prerogative at that point.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna risk the 20.
Okay.
So does it hit?
Yep.
Okay, good. And 25% more damage, right?
Yes.
That would be 10 total damage then.
Okay.
In his other eyeball.
So, Bits, as soon as this thing loses its other eye, it bolts in a direction that it can't see, but it's just trying to get away from you guys.
Except someone's riding it. That's going to be a little tough.
You're pretty much stuck, almost stuck riding it for a few seconds as it's running. How did you start off of this thing?
I think Bits just drops some praise, getting a big old Deathclaw ankle to the face as it runs away.
So you take 6 damage when you do that.
Alright.
But it's ungraceful, but it gets the job done. This thing is definitely fleeing, getting out of dodge. Not very gracefully. It kind of runs into some stuff on the way out. but it's definitely more concerned with its own survival at this point.
Let's go take a look at those people that it was nomming on before we got here.
Indeed.
Is there enough of their bodies left to loot?
Yeah, give me like a search check.
That is based off of
Perception, I think.
13.
Okay. Yeah, their armor is definitely not very useful to you anymore, unless you're going for kind of a Fabio look. But
Torn and shredded armor look.
Not on the beaches with a beautiful woman and seagulls.
But you do see that one of them has a sawn-off shotgun.
Okay.
The other one seems to have a big metal pipe, like a big lead pipe. And between the two of them, there's about 25 caps.
Okay.
More money to spend at Morty's store.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, I jump back in the wagon.
Alrighty.
I never left it, so I'm okay.
Fitz is gonna spit out a couple teeth as he picks up the sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as yours, except it's somebody has taken a hacksaw to it. It's still got some pretty. It's been abused pretty heavily.
That's fine.
You can see somebody carved his name into it with like a knife, and it says Darlene, but it's spelled Darleen.
I toss the pipe in the back of the wagon and stuff the caps somewhere within my vest.
Okay. And
Bits returns to the wagon as well.
no problem. In fact, it's pretty smooth sailing from here to Puget Sound. It's actually almost within visual distance from where you had fought the Deathclaw.
Mortimer is so pleased with everyone's performance, he's going to give them one free cigarette.
Sweet.
First one's always free, right?
That's it. You got it.
I'll pass.
As much as I do love these, you got a stim pack instead?
I do believe I might have one here in one of these packs. Oh, geez.
Yeah, that's a good point. As we're riding, I use one of my stim packs on myself.
Okay.
Well, the good news is I do have a stim pack. The bad news is it's my last one. But maybe for 40 caps I could let it go.
How about that pack of cigarettes you gave me and 15 caps?
No, I think a stim pack is more valuable in these circumstances. So, how about 40 caps instead?
Nice negotiation.
Fine.
If you want a stim
Enhance
pack,
40
I'll
caps.
give you one for 35.
Hey, it's only a 200% markup.
I will pocket the 40 caps. There you go.
Alright, now inject that stim pack right now.
Yeah.
Now, don't you feel better? Aren't you glad you shop at Morty's?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Thank you for shopping at Walmart's.
Mortimer's Walmart.
Mortimer's Wall of Marts. No, I don't know.
Oh, goodness.
And you can see that the Puget Sound is a location, but it's also become apparent that it's a pun, because this group that runs the Puget Sound is actually, there's a small band of people playing jazz music as you approach. They're wearing raider garb, not donning the smiley face that you were becoming familiar with, but they don't appear to have any particular signs or markings of allegiance. They just seem to be jamming away as they see you approaching, playing "When the Saints Go Marching in a jaunting tempo. And you can see one of them. Uh, the whole area is kind of like a dock that leads out to the water. And there's a fence and a barricade and a sign that's hanging up that looks like it at one point did belong to the official sign of Puget Sound, but some of the letters have been replaced with other letters as time has gone by, and certain letters have fallen off. So you've got like a G from a supermarket sign, and the T is actually across from a church, and things like that. The E is like a big light up neon sign. But when they see you coming, they start playing, and you can see one of them who's wearing a kind of like a Psycho Raider outfit, but he's waving a conductor's baton, and he kind of points it towards you and starts signaling you like you're an aircraft coming in for taxi.
So I smile. They see, that's right now. This is a good sign. Generally, violent people don't welcome you with music.
And one of the drummers misses a beat, and the other drummer starts brawling with him just as you say that, bringing the whole thing kind of to a standstill.
Probably still learning.
And you see a flute just fly up into the air and fall down as this brawl commences. But the conductor kind of makes his way up to you, and he puts his finger to his lips, and he points to his throat as if to indicate that he can't speak. But he points two fingers to his eyes, and then he points his fingers to the caravan, and he starts circling around it and looking through it. He takes out a piece of sheet music, and he writes on the back of it. It's kind of taking inventory, nodding, looking pretty satisfied with what he's looking at, and then he finally gets as he goes all the way around and gets to the other side, he just kind of nods and he gives you a thumbs up, and he kind of signals you to push through into the compound.
Hey,
Leave the thing in.
smile and nod.
Yeah, and if you make your way inside, the man extends out his hand, and he's waiting for one of you to take it.
The what? I didn't get that.
The man who is like the conductor, he just kind of holds out a hand as if to shake a hand, but he's just kind of gesturing towards all of you at the same time.
Oh yeah, I'll shake his hand.
Okay.
And,
And he just kind of moves his way down the line, shaking each of your hands and
I'll give him a big smile.
and bowing, and the band has now gotten back together and resumed playing again.
Bits would take his hand as well and say, "Nice little band you got here."
He just kind of smiles and nods.
If I see any music out there, doubt I will. I'll send it your way.
And he writes on this paper. He writes big lots of caps for sheet music, records, instruments, you name it.
Mortimer is certain to remember that fact.
And as you're talking, some of his less musically inclined cohorts are unloading this caravan. and he starts to write down, and it says, "So the exchange is complete. We will provide you with the goods."
I smile and I shake his hand. Well, that's just great. That's just delightful. You know, we had a bit of a rough time getting here, but I think everything just turned out just fine. Good to know.
And he nods, and he makes a crude drawing of a death claw, and then he draws little X's over its eyes, and he kind of taps the paper and nods in respect.
Smile, and I point at whoever jumped on its back.
And the he taps his baton, and the band begins to play the Kentucky Derby theme song. I think it's the Call the Races or whatever that song is called. But
Go ahead.
oh, they just play that for for our local Death Claw Wrangler. As about 6 of these raiders lug this huge-looking piece of artillery onto the caravan. Definitely just slightly too big for this thing. This looks like, if you can imagine, the big artillery from the World War II era. It looks like something out of a museum almost, especially in this time and age. And they're sort of slowly, by the handfuls or by the armfuls, putting 4 shells down at a time, as many as the caravan will hold.
Well, you know, smile and give encouraging nods to the people loading the caravan, which is not me.
One of them drops one and it sticks into the dirt, and he just kind of has this, like, he flinches for a second as if it's gonna go off right then and there, and then he picks it up, dusts it off with his shirt, and just kind of acts as if nothing happens. And as they load the last of this artillery onto the caravan, it starts to sink into the ground a little bit, and the conductor begins to play what can only be described as farewell music, kind of somber but happy at the same time. And he kind of bows to you all.
So I'll signal to the driver there. Thank you. Drive on now, drive on. Business is done. No need to overstay our welcome. Thanks, all. Maybe we'll do business again.
And they begin to play When the Saints Go Marching In as you make your way out. And with that, I think that's a good place to kind of wrap it up.
Okay.
All right.
I think presuming that there's no incidentals, and you guys, it's pretty late at night by the time you get back to where you started from, and they tell you where they want to set it up, and a bunch of Supermutants kind of pick it up and set it down where they think it'll be best on this, probably on the top of a steep hill overlooking the city, and you can see in the distance in the nighttime the burning fires in the distance of the new California Republic. For the first time, you can see the sheer size of this incursion force that's pressing in towards the city, ever closer every day. And you can see in the distance, in a suit of power armor that you can't quite make out, a man holding a banner bearing the symbol of the New California Republic. And he seems to look towards you, even though you're a very great distance away. And that's where we're going to end it.
Well, at least we got a BFG now.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I say goodbye to my companions, thanking them and smiling. And as I'm walking away, I've got my pouch and I'm counting all my caps and smiling, smoking a cigarette.
Okay.
Ezekiel heads his way back to the closest poker table.
Oh yeah, the night has just begun.
Reginald,
Exactly.
looking at the lack of caps that he has, because as it turns out, towards the end of the evening, Mortimer, aka Morty, had swindled him out of the last remaining of his caps.
Yeah, he's good at that.
He got more murky water and more psycho, and he got addicted to both.
I got addicted to water. I can't live without it.
I need the stuff, man.
I can quit anytime. Man, detoxing is a bitch, so.
He's also addicted to wine. He's addicted to everything, man.
Sure.
This oxygen's good stuff.
They tried to make you go to rehab, but you said no, 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 and then you died of overdose.
Water overdose, also known as drowning.
Yeah, pretty much.
Bits is gonna bump into a ghoul, and the ghoul's gonna hand him a bag, and he's like, "Yep, vacation time. I'll be on my way to New Vegas," as he leaves.
Awesome. Awesome. You're skipping town.
Yep. Start the fight and leave.
And then the last thing you see is a death claw roaming its way down the empty streets of Seattle, occasionally
A blind Deathclaw.
pumping its head into various objects as the credits roll.
It's sad music plays as this lone Deathclaw with one eye left.
A sad version of When the Saints Go Marching In plays.
Incidentally, Reginald had left behind his mine, and the blind Deathclaw walked right over.
Of course, that's the very last click, click, click. Oh man. Well, thank you guys so much for playing. I got a lot of really good insight out of playing this alpha test. A lot of things that I think I need to tweak, but I think overall it flows pretty well.
Yeah.
There's some mechanical stuff that needs to be worked out a little bit more, but overall, what did you guys think of it?
I thought it worked pretty good. Yeah, I think you need to at least get some numbers down on paper for some things so that you have a base to, you got to go up or go down from that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Try and cement a few more things.
Mechanic for addictions is needed.
Yeah, I like that idea that it's a base number. I think more and more it should just. I think I like the idea of it just being flat for everything, because really it is pretty easy to get addicted to cigarettes, as well as Jet and Psycho and everything else. The minty freshness of Mentats. The delicious pseudo meat flavor of cram.
There was a bird that it didn't come up in the game, but it's called Grim Reaper Friends.
Yes, I've got that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna click on show it so you guys can check.
That's essentially what it does in the game.
Okay, I'm not sure if it's well this edition because two actions back.
Yeah, the only thing I'll probably tweak that down to 1 again.
Yeah.
Well, because the thing is, you do have to get the killing blow, It's not just doing damage. You have to actually do the final thing. But I will probably tweak that back down to you just get the action point back.
I would try and work advantage, disadvantage into some of the bonuses you're looking for. In other words, anytime you think, oh, maybe this deserves a +2 or a -2, throw that idea away and go with advantage, disadvantage. One of the great things about 5e is it got rid of a lot of those stacking bonuses and simplified things. So I would try and embrace that for Fallout.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I really like advantage, disadvantage. I'm trying to do less number stuff and definitely more that because it's just simpler in a lot of ways. Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, thanks everybody for the game. I had fun. Hope you did too. It was a fun little character there.
Oh yeah, that was great. We had a lot of those were some hilarious interactions. I love the fact that you kept selling things to everybody except for Ezekiel, who was basically just like, "Nah, I'm good."
I love how Reginald spent his entire life savings on Mortimer's shop.
Mortimer's stuff,
Yeah.
half of which is not even all that good. Then we got people buying stim packs for 40K or 40 caps instead of 25.
Yeah, I made some good profit.
That's a good. Well, that's price gouging right there because it's a supply demand really.
Well, also, I mean, often, people, they play like real badass tough guys, and I thought, well, I'm going to play a guy who's not that. Everybody needs a drug dealer, especially in Fallout 3. Holy crap. Right? So.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that was awesome, the fact that you're like, yeah, I'm not going to do this combat. I'm probably just going to try and hide behind the truck at this point. Just smoke a cigarette. Oh,
That's
no,
not why they sent me along. They didn't send me along to shoot with my little 10mm.
Oh man, we lost Dynasty again. Oh well, we're very, very close to the end. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and stop the broadcast now. Thank you guys, all of you that watched and those of you that participated. We got all the way up to 5 viewers, which is crazy for my channel. So thank you everyone that watched. And again, thank you Locrius for providing me with that awesome little prelude. I couldn't have imagined that being any better than it was. So I'm very happy that we were able to make that happen. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again next time.